प्रेमामृताम्बनिधि धीराधीर जनप्रियं प्रियकरं निर्मत्सनं पूजितौ श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरो।
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
आप
Krishna
खाते नहीं लेके
Krishna
बैठे
Hare
हैं कि
Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and welcome everyone, especially Mother Rochisha Devidasi. She always has such a blissful smile on her face because the program that we've created goes on faithfully every week, and she loves it. That there's a consistency to our actions. And this consistency, this determination to propagate the truth of the matter in terms of Krishna consciousness is very valuable for the entire world. Yes, the entire world. And before we get into our program today, we're going to first introduce this new program of chanting the Prabhupada Sotram, and please, let's go to that right now. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Stotram. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Krishna Kacheta Madamoha Vinachakarin Madrishti Gochara Prabhupada Swamin Dosha Vivritti Paridushita Manda Buddhe Sanchintayami Charano Tava Bhakti Etu Vrindavane Ramanareti Prasiddha Bhumau Tatrapi Krishna Balarama Supada Mule Jnanam Param Parama Krishna Sudharma Ityuktam Dantastu Deva Prabhupada Namo Namaste 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 Kripapurna Drishti Namaste Namaste Mahananda Dhatri Namamo Namama Punaraksha Raksha Prasiddha Prabhupahimam Daksha Daksha Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Vanga Bhumijana Bhushana Ghora Leela Ghoranga Bhava Parisharana Matra Shila Radha Mukunda Pada Padma Manovilasin Anandarashi Prabhupada Namo Namaste Anandarashi Prabhupada Namo Namaste Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and once again, welcome to the Sunday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, and it's being read from the original Delhi Bhagavatams. And you can see Krishna Katha has that permanent picture of the Delhi Bhagavatams on the screen. He so much appreciates this program that we have to print and publish these books for distribution globally. And the distribution is going very well. And we want to congratulate all of you who have participated in this program and continue to help us in this distribution of these very valuable books, which were printed pre-ISKCON. The pre-ISKCON movement that Prabhupada started in 1966, actually. He was a year in preparation from 65 up to 66, and then it evolved into an organization which he developed up to his final year with us in his manifested presence. And I wanted to mention Yashodanandana Prabhu to be clear for everyone, because there seems to be some confusion about his Disappearance Day celebration. And we saw that, I believe on the 24th, there is a lunar calendar that calculates these dates in India. Okay, so we understand that. But globally, most people run on a regular calendar like we do, which is, and when Prabhupada was physically present with us, we were announced that he left on November 14th of that year. It wasn't a lunar calendar calculation, it was the date. So we were, because people are asking me, well, Prabhupada, they're going to celebrate it in October. How come you're doing it in November 14th? Well, it was November 14th for us when he disappeared. So there is no contradiction. It's fine. At least they're celebrating. I and you, Yashoda, we both experienced it on November 14th, 1977. And it was a great tragedy for us. Absolutely. It was shocking, the whole experience. And we're having our festival on November 15th. We have a special program to remember Srila Prabhupada, both with initiated disciples of Srila Prabhupada when he was personally present, and people that have accepted Ritvik initiation, which was the system that we used all during our time as in a role, myself as a role as a temple president back in the day. And we're using that same system, no change, because we accept that Prabhupada is living in sound. Prabhupada is alive. This is a yoga process, not the Hatha yoga process where you do exercises. It's the yoga of bhakti. And bhakti yoga is based on Shravanam Kirtanam, sound vibration. Now someone would say, well, you're just making that up. No, we're not. That's ridiculous. You're making it up. You're concocting things. You're imagining things because you have motive, which is not pure. You're trying to replace Srila Prabhupada with yourself. And that's a sin. I was raised as a Roman Catholic, as you know, or some of you may not know. And we had a thing where there was three types of sin. There was a mortal sin, and a venial sin. I guess it's two, eh? Mortal sin, venial sin. Venial sin was a sin that's not too bad. Like you sort of made a mistake. And you went to confession every Saturday to the priest, and you confessed your sins, and you got absolved. And then Sunday you went for communion, Holy Communion, and then the next day you go back to sinning. Oh, God. Not a good idea. It's actually an offense, to commit sins on the strength of chanting. It's a mistake. So this celebration, getting back to the celebration, will be on November 15th. And we have 9 guests so far that are going to speak, different God brothers and God sisters. And thank you all for that. And if you're interested, by the way, in being a part of the program, please get in touch with us. We have our contact list and we have our phone numbers, and we're here reaching out to you. And if you want to express yourself, by all means, feel free. We're interested in participants. There's a saying in the West here, the more, the merrier. Have you ever heard that? The more, the merrier. And that is the way of spiritual practice. The more people take up Krishna consciousness, the better their life will be in association with like-minded devotees. Yes, like-minded. And birds of the same feather flock together. You've heard that before. People that have the same disposition, that they want to see that Prabhupada is put in his proper position and not you're removed from his position by people that were supposed to be his servants. But they don't read the books. They don't study. Many of them don't chant their rounds. They don't work with other people. They're in their own mental speculation, creative mental speculation, and that's going on in all groups. Not only these, all groups, they're just concoct or make up philosophy. So, not good. And we're going to have our friend, our god sister, Shresha Rupa Devi Dasi, just speak for a minute. She has an announcement to make. Go ahead, Shresha Rupa Devi Dasi. Go ahead. You have your hand up.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for allowing me to make this quick announcement. We have posted the form links if you'd like to participate in our first annual Srila Prabhupada Disappearance Festival. You just need to fill up the form. We already have received a lot of responses. We are getting in touch with all of the volunteers to help us with taking care of the event for ourselves. And I request you all to fill the form and get in touch with us if you'd like to participate. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. And you know, the fact is that when people work together with a common cause, they can be effective in getting the result that they're looking for. We have to have cooperation. And we're getting Yashodanandana Prabhu, as you know, and he's informing me, there are a lot of people that are interested in getting initiated properly through the PDA Hare Krishna Society. Yes, we do this service for others, and we're still here and active in this process, and we're not only working on it, but we're trying to establish with our group a legacy system so that when some of us depart, yes, that this system will go on. And Prabhupada's position as Diksha Shiksha Guru will be maintained for the next 10,000 years. You like that idea? Everybody? Do you like that? Or do you think we should go with some of these other people that are pretending, posturing, and posing? And people may say, well, that's fault finding. Well, we didn't mention anybody. These people are doing it, no question. And this has been a very serious deviation in our parampara system. Very serious deviation. And we're trying to work in such a way as actively as we can as a team. And part of the initiation, people want me to, Ram Raghava, go over the process. And we'll do it next Wednesday. When we have our Chaitanya Charitamrita class, I'll have them put up the rules behind it. It's simple, really. You just come to our classes. Why? Because then we have a chance to be in association with each other and get the explanation of why we think or we know this process that we're presenting is authoritative. What do we got here? He's doing something. If you have a Hare Krishna standards for first initiations, classes weekly for a minimum of 6 months, chant 16 rounds, follow the regular principles, and assist in our preaching efforts. See, so that's it. We want you to work with us. If someone wants to engage in independent preaching, we cannot control that. Obviously, you do what you want. You're on a boat out in the ocean trying to become somebody. Those standards were established by Srila Prabhupada and described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have experienced in the past that some candidates take a Ritvik initiation and then they slacken off, they leave, and we never hear from them again. So those standards help us to ascertain the seriousness of any candidate. I trust that you understand where you are coming from. I hope this finds you well. This was from my godbrother Yashodanandana, this note, so thank you. That's a good summary of it. It's a very simple thing. And initiation is you initiate yourself. You really do. We have a formality to it, but it's an internal commitment that you, in your heart, have towards Srila Prabhupada and the service of Prabhupada to get the mercy of Krishna. That's it. Because by the mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. That's how it happens. No other way, this way only. That's a different quote, isn't it? Rochisha Devidasi. It's a different quote. I always refer to her because she's such an intense listener. So it's fantastic. And for me, people that listen, they learn. People that don't listen, they don't learn. People that speculate on this philosophy, that manufacture and concoct philosophy, they don't learn because they're speculating. It's the listener, Shravanam Kirtanam, that develops the proper understanding of this philosophy. And you have to have faith. You have to have faith in Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. You have to have faith. Don't be discouraged because you've had bad experiences in the past. Yes, it's true. A lot of us have been abused. Hey, Rochisha Devidasi? Abused. Very seriously abused. And that disturbs a person's faith. But, here's the good point. There is hope for everyone in this group of very serious Ram Raghava devotees. Yes, there is. And there is no compromise. So some people would say, oh, you're too harsh. No, we're not. We're being strict because only people that are serious can make advancement, and only people that are really serious about hearing from Srila Prabhupada can get the nectar of this philosophy. This Vani understanding of Prabhupada exists in his books. And we're going to go further into our program. We're moving along to our, and Ram Raghava, guess what? I've got a new idea. So last night, my house has been turned upside down. So one of our rooms, I had all kinds of books there, and they've been reorganized for me when I was away in Mexico for 7 weeks. So I got back and I looked upstairs, and there's books everywhere. There's books everywhere here. And guess what I found? I found a copy of Sri Ishopanishad. Oh, yes. So after we finish this reading, we're going to move forward with the reading of Sri Ishopanishad, moving forward into the future. And after that, we're going to go back to the diaries. I think it's important that we go back to the diaries, Yashodanandana Prabhu. We've been reading them over and over again, but repetition of a good thing is a good thing, and especially hearing about Prabhupada's glorious pastimes in his own handwriting. Oh, here's a message. I'm very interested in becoming. What's that message there? I can't read it on my screen. but we'll look at it later. We're going to go to, I know where we are, Ram Raghava. We're at chapter 5. I marked it in our book. I think we read this book here, this one. I think we've been reading it over and over again for weeks and weeks, but no problem. It's always ever fresh. We're reading from chapter 5. Now, these are lectures that Prabhupada gave in 1966. And it's a really wonderful way to understand how he presented the philosophy to new people, all these new neophytes that he was preaching to. And why we're doing this is so that we can all use this formula in presenting it to new people that we meet. And we should always be eager to help new people take this process up. And here we go, associating with Krishna. Chapter 5, if one gets something superior, he naturally gives up all inferior things. We want enjoyment, but impersonalism and voidism has created such an atmosphere that we have become addicted to material enjoyment. There must be enjoyment in connection with the Supreme Person, Purushu Saparaha, whom we can see face to face. In the spiritual sky, we are able to speak personally with God, to play, eat with him. It's a very different concept than what they teach in Catholicism, just so you know. All of this can be attained by bhaktya, transcendental loving service. However, this service must be without adulteration. That is to say, we must love God without expecting material remuneration. Loving God to become one with him is also a form of adulteration. One of the major differences between the spiritual sky and the material sky, two skies, is that in the spiritual sky, the head or leader of the spiritual planets has no, revival. In all cases, has no rival. In all cases, the predominating personality in the spiritual planets is a plenary expansion of Sri Krishna. No concept of expansion, how God is everywhere. The Supreme Lord and his multifarious manifestations preside all over the Vaikuntha planets. What I'm saying is that Prabhupada presented this understanding to the Western-speaking countries who were devoid of this understanding. On Earth, for example, there is rivalry for the position of president or prime minister, but in the spiritual sky, everyone acknowledges the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be supreme. Those who do not acknowledge him and accept to rival him are placed into the material universe, which is just like a prison house. As in any city, there is a prison, and the prison forms a very significant part of the whole city. Of the material universe is a prison for the conditioned souls, and forms an insignificant part of the spiritual sky, but it's not outside the spiritual sky, just as a prison is not outside of the city. And it's also referred to the body as the city of 9 gates. That'll be explained later. The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky are all liberated souls. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we are informed that their bodily features are exactly like God's. For some of these planets, God is manifested with 2 arms, and on others he has 4. The inhabitants of these planets, like the Supreme Lord, also manifest 2 and 4 arms, and it is said that one cannot distinguish between them and the Supreme Person. Again, totally new concept for Western ears. In the spiritual world, there are 5 kinds of liberation. Sayuja Mukti is a form of liberation in which one merges into the impersonal existence of the Supreme called Brahman. Another form of liberation is called Swarupya Mukti, by which one receives features exactly like God's. Another is Solokya Mukti, by which one can live in the same planet with God. By Sarsti Mukti, one can have opulences similar to the Supreme Lord's. Another type enables one to remain always with God as one of his associates, just like Arjuna, who is always with Krishna as his friend. One can have any of, go ahead, the 5 forms of liberation, but of the 5, the Saryuja Mukti, merging into the impersonal, merging with the impersonal aspect, is not accepted by Vaishnava devotees. People didn't know what that meant, Vaishnava. A Vaishnava worships, here he's clarifying it. A Vaishnava wishes to worship God as he is and retain his separate individuality to serve him, whereas the Mayavadi impersonal philosophy wishes to lose his individuality and merge into the existence of the Supreme. Very important for us to learn how to preach this way. This merging is neither recommended by Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita nor by the disciplic succession of Vaishnava philosophies. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote on this subject in his Sikshastakam, these important prayers. Nadanam najanam nasindarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaya. Mama janmani ishwari bhavatad bhaktir ahoitiki twaye. And we're going to include these in our program moving forward, just so you know. That's an addition that's coming. O Almighty, all the prayers of Lord Chaitanya. I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor have I any desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is that I may have your causeless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Complete, perfect explanation of this philosophy. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refers to birth after birth, when there is birth after birth, there is no liberation. In liberation, either one attains the spiritual planets or merges into the existence of the Supreme. In either case, there is no question of rebirth into the material world. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't care whether he's liberated or not. His only concern is to be engaged in Krishna consciousness, to serve the Supreme Lord. That's exactly right. And our theme is, everyone, we're employees of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. Our job is to simply work for the service of the Lord and Prabhupada. The devotee doesn't care where he is, nor does he care whether he's born in the animal society, human society, demigod society, or whatever. He only prays to God that he shall not forget him and that he will always be able to engage in his transcendental service. These are the symptoms of pure devotion. Of course, a devotee, wherever he is, remains in the spiritual kingdom, even while in this material body. That means you can be liberated while you're living on this plane, but it's a matter of your focus, your qualification, your surrender. It is possible, everyone. It is possible. But he does not demand anything for God for his own personal elevation or comfort. It's very interesting, Yashoda, these days. You see these people wearing saffron clothes. They got fancy apartments. They got new cars. They've got all kinds of opulent food. They eat all these feasts. But they're renounced. They're very renounced. Doesn't seem so. Although Sri Krishna indicates that he can be easily reached by one who is devoted to him, there is an element of risk involved for the yogi who practice other methods of yoga. For them, he has given directions in Bhagavad Gita regarding the proper time to leave the gross body. Yantra kale tonavritam avritam cheva yogina prayacha yanti tam kalam rikshami bharata shabha. O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing from this world one does not or does not come back. One does or does not come back. Bhagavad Gita 8:23, and go to your Gita every day and look at these verses, please. Hare Krishna, here Krishna indicates that if one is able to leave his body at a particular time, he can become liberated, never to return to the material world. On the other hand, he indicates that if one dies at another time, he has to return. There is this element of chance, but there's no question of chance for a devotee, always in Krishna consciousness, where he is guaranteed entrance to the abode of Krishna by dint of his devotion to the Lord. Agnir Iotir aha sukla sanmasa uttarayanam tatra prayata ganchati brahma vido janaha. Those who know the supreme Brahman pass away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light as at an auspicious moment during the fortnight of the moon and the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Bhagavad Gita 8:24. The sun spends 6 months on the northern side of the equator and 6 months on the southern side. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we have information that as the planets are moving, so also the sun is moving. If one dies when the sun is situated in the northern hemisphere, he attains liberation. So more votes. Here are more quotes from the Shastra, and I apologize, I'm not perfect at this. Dumo Ratris Tata Krishna, Sanmasa Dakshina Manam, Tatra Chandra Masanam Jyotir, Yogi Prapya Nivartate, Shukla Krishna Gata Hite Jagata Shashvate Mate, Ekaya Yatri Anvritam Anavartate Punaha. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the moonless fortnight, or in the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, or who reaches the moon planet, again comes back. According to the Vedas, there are two ways of passing from the world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. When one passes in darkness, he returns. Bhagavad Gita 8:25, verse and 26. And we'll read one more paragraph. This is all by chance. We do not know when we going to die, and we may die accidentally at any time, but for one who is a bhakti yogi, that's all of you, who is established in Krishna consciousness, there is no question of chance. He is always sure. Naiti Shriti Partha Janam Yogi Muhati Kashchana Tasmat Sarveshu Koleshu Yoga Yukto Bhava Arjuna. The devotee who knows these two paths, O Arjuna, are never bewildered. They will always be fixed in devotion. And that's Bhagavad Gita 8:27. Prabhu, make a note here where we are. I'm going to do it in my book to make sure we don't go through this repetition. I want to
Yes.
get these.
I've highlighted it, as you can see.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, our hosts, for this program. We're expanding our hosts in case somebody gets sick or whatever, and they can't attend. So anyone who's interested in working with us, please get in touch with us through our Please get in touch with us. Someone muted me. So, please get in touch with us and join us in helping to propagate Krishna consciousness through this medium of the internet, which is very, very effective for preaching in 2025. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We're going to go ahead with the Prabhupada lecture for this morning. The first one, we have two in the program. So here's the first one. Listen carefully. Haribol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam.
Now, how the soul is transmitted? Suppose after this life I get better life, that's nice. But if I get lower life, then what is the condition? Suppose next life I get the life of a cat or dog or cow. Suppose you get again birth in America. But if you change your body, then whole circumstances change. As human being, you are giving all protection by the state. But as soon as you become another body, either tree or animals, the treatment is different. Animal is going to the slaughterhouse, trees are being cut off. There is no protest. So, this is the condition of material life. Sometimes we are getting better condition of life, sometimes we are getting lower condition of life. There is no guarantee. That will depend on my work. That is practical. In this life also, if you become educated, then your future is very nice. If you are not educated, then your future is not so bright. Similarly, this human form of life, we can make a solution of this repeated birth and death. And that is the only business of human form of life. How to get out of these material conditions of life, birth, death, old age and disease. We can make solution. And that solution is Krishna consciousness. As soon as we become Krishna conscious means Krishna, the Supreme, He, Lord, God, we are part and parcel of Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Simply to understand. Right, just like you understand. Your father and your brothers and yourself, you are all sons of the Father. So it is not difficult to understand. As Father maintains the whole family, similarly Krishna, the Supreme Lord or God, He has many innumerable sons, living entities, and He is maintaining the whole body, whole family. What is the difficulty? The next duty is to become developed conscious. Just like a good son, when he feels that Father has done so much for me, I must repay it, or at least I must accept obligation what my Father has done for me. This much feeling is called Krishna consciousness. So to become Krishna conscious, we require to understand three things only. Bhoktaram Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram Sridam Sarvabhutanam Gyattamang Shantimichyati. Every one of us is trying to be happy, satisfied. That is the struggle for existence. But if we understand these three principles, so God is the Supreme Father, God is the Supreme Proprietor, God is the Supreme Friend. These three things. If you understand, then you become peaceful immediately. Immediately. You are seeking friends to get help, so many. But if we simply accept God, Krishna as my friend, Supreme Friend, your friendship problem is solved. Similarly, if we accept God as the Supreme Proprietor, then our other problem is solved. Because we are falsely claiming proprietorship of things which belong to God. By falsely claiming that this land of America belongs to the Americans, the land of Africa belongs to the Africans. No. Every land belongs to God. We are different sons of God in different dresses. We have got right to enjoy the property of Father God without infringing others' right. Just like in family, we live so many brothers, so whatever father, mother gives us to eat, we eat. We don't encroach upon others' place. That is not civilized family. Similarly, if we become God conscious, Krishna conscious, then the whole problems of the world, sociology, religion, economic development, politics, everything will be solved. That's a fact. Therefore, we are trying to spread this Krishna consciousness movement for total benefit of the human society. We request the intelligent persons, especially the students' community, to join this movement, to try to understand scientifically what is this movement. We have got many books, at least 24 books, big voluminous. So you can read them, you can try to understand this movement and join with us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
You hear everybody cheer at the end, eh? Everybody's so inspired. We were inspired whenever we had a chance to be with Srila Prabhupada personally. It was so enlivening, illuminating. It's an illuminating experience to be released from the bonds of the material prison house that we're in. And Prabhupada's saying because people are lonely, you know, it's a real mental health issue, that people are very lonely. Then you go to the psychiatrist and they give you drugs. Here, have this pill, it'll blank you out. It'll intoxicate you. You'll forget all your misery. But the fact is that Prabhupada is explaining here that when you accept that God is your supreme friend, that he's the supreme proprietor of everything, when you accept Krishna as a transcendental reality in your life, you'll be happy no matter what the circumstances are of this material world. And this message from Srila Prabhupada is illuminating. It illuminates the mind. And when you have that understanding, then you can find some happiness with peace of mind in transcendental knowledge. So this is Krishna consciousness, and we're going to move forward with our next section, exciting section. And it's always ever fresh, Ever Chisha Devi Dasi. It's always Radharani Devi Dasi. Very exciting, because we're going to move further into the reading of the Delhi Bhagavatams, and we encourage everyone to get a copy or order some copies and distribute them to their friends so some other people can get the nectar of Prabhupada's pure message in these books that he produced for us. And we'll move forward with the chanting of Jaya Radha Madhava by Srila Prabhupada. So chant along. It's no different than when he was here. And then we'll move with the reading and discussion headed up by our godbrother Yashodanandana Prabhu from Twain Harte, California, wherever the hell that is. Hari Bol. Just kidding.
Sai. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Nandana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Nandana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Bhattacharya Chittara Sadasyaman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavindra ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridhavardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami To Bhaktavindra ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami To Bhaktavindra ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1. Narayanam namaskrityam. Narayanam namaskrityam. Naram chaiva narottamam. Naram chaiva narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Mudirayat. Tato Jayam Mudirayat. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of Godhead Narayana, 2, to the Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being, 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Welcome everyone to this reading and discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. This reading is being conducted from the original New Delhi 1962 edition, and all synonyms, translations, and purports are from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. As we do every week, we will be reading a few selected verses from the first canto, second chapter, which explains the meaning and the benefit of hearing this powerful transcendental literature. Yadanudyasina yukta karma garanti nibandanam Chindanti kovidastasya kona kuriyat kataratim. Intelligent persons do cut off the internet of the knot of reactionary work by remembrance of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not give attention to his message? Shushrushoho sradadanasya vasudeva kataruchihi Syanmahat sevaya vipra punyatirdanishevanat. O the twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all ranges of vice, a standard of great service is done. And as the result of such great service, affinity in the messages of Vasudeva is made possible. Srinvatam svakata krishnaham punyasravana kirtanaham hridyantasto hyabadrani vidunoti suritsatam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is also the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, does cleanse the desire for material enjoyment in the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge for hearing his Krishna's messages, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nashtaprayeshu vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regular attendance in the Bhagavatam class or rendering service unto the pure devotees, all that is inauspicious in the heart of a candidate becomes destroyed almost to nil, and thus loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, comes into being an irrevocable fact. Tadarajastamo bhava kamalo badayaschaye chetaye terana viddam stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is fixed up in one's heart, at that time the effects of the nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankerings, etc., do disappear from one's heart, and he becomes fixed up in a mode of goodness which makes him completely happy. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhaktiyo gataha bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Thus, when one is positively fixed up in a mode of unalloyed goodness, the enlivened-minded man affected by contact of devotional service of the Lord can positively know scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Vidyate hridaya grantis chidyante sarva samshaya chiyante chasya karamani drishtae vatmanishwari. The knot of one's heart is thus pierced, and all misgivings are cut into pieces. The chain of fruitive actions are terminated, along with the seeing of oneself, the dominating factor. We will proceed with our verse for today. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, text number 30. Samhatya anyonyam ubayas tejasi rasa samvrite avritya rodashi kancha vavritate arkabhanivat. Samhatya, by combination of anyonyam, one another, ubaya, a boat, tejasi, that glares, sara, weapons, samvrite, covering, avritya, covering, rodashi, the complete firmament, kamcha, the outer space also, babridate, increasing, arka, the sun globe, vanivat, like the fire. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Thus, by combination of the rays of the two Brahmastras, there was an encirclement of excessive fire, like in the disk of the sun globe, and it covered all around the outer space and the whole firmament of planets, purports by his divine grace. The heat created by the flash of Brahmastra resembles the fire in the sun globe, which is exhibited at time of annihilation of the cosmos. Radiation of the atomic energy is very much insignificant in comparison with the heat produced by the Brahmastra. The atomic bomb explosion can at most blow up one globe only, but the heat produced by the Brahmastra can destroy the whole cosmic situation. The comparison is therefore made with the heat at the time of annihilation. Text number 31. Drishva astrate jastu tayosin lokan pradahan mahat dashyamanaha prajasarvaha samvartakam mamanchata drishtva. Thus seeing, astra, weapon, tejas, heat, to, but, tayo, of the boat, strin, 3, Lokan, planets, Pradaham, blazing, Mahat, severely, Dahyamanaha, burning, Prajaha, population, Sarvaha, all over the Samvartakam, the name of the fire which devastates during annihilation of the universe. Amansata began to think. Translation: all the population of the tree world, thus feeling a severe burning sensation by the combination of the heat of the weapons, began to think of the Samvartaka fire, which take place during the time of annihilation. Purport by His Divine Grace. The three worlds are the upper, lower, and the intermediate position of the planets of the universe. Although the Brahmastra was released on this earth, the heat produced by the combination of both weapons covered all over the universe, and all population on all the different planets began to feel the heat excessively and compared it with that of the Samvartaka fire. No planet is therefore without living being, as it is contemplated by the less intelligent materialistic man. Does the purport continue? No. Okay. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Melitam Yena Tasme Shigurave Namah Namo Vishnu Balapadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Bhagavad Vandana Khadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sarkara Yuktam Kadate Visheshatah Adadana Strinam Danteridam Yache Punah Punah Srimad Rupa Padam Bhoja Dhurishyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavatosmyaham Sadadasu Asmi Sarvata Tat Kripa Pikshako Nityam Tat Presta Chat Karomi Svam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This series in the Bhagavatam, this series of verses is very interesting. Specifically, Srila Prabhupada's comments about the power of the Brahmastra weapons. Now, people may say, well, we don't have materialistic scientists would say, we have no such experience at this time about Brahmastra weapons. We don't know where that comes from. But 5,000 years ago, they had that science, that by mantra chanting, they were able to release the Brahmastra weapon, which can annihilate not just these portions of this little planet, but the entire universe. That was the power of the Brahmastra weapon. So we see that Arjuna, after praying to Krishna, to Lord Krishna, to help him, save him from that burning fire, that he was expressing that this fire now from the weapon of Ashwatthama is burning everywhere. So this is very, very significant, because nowadays we have nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons are known to be very devastating. The nuclear weapon that was released on Nagasaki and Hiroshima uttered very serious devastation. And Prabhupada mentioned this in the Bhagavad Gita. if we can refer to Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 16, text number 9. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text number 9. Itam drishtima vastabhya nashtatmano alpabuddhayaha prabhavanto ugra karmanaha kshayaya jagato hitaha. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, the demoniac are engaged in activities that will lead the world to destruction. The Lord states here that they are less intelligent. The materialists who have no concept of God think that they're advancing. But according to Bhagavad Gita, they are unintelligent and devoid of all sense. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit and therefore always engage in inventing something for sense gratification. Such materialistic inventions are considered to be advancement of human civilization, but the result is that people grow more and more violent and more cruel, cruel to animals and cruel to other human beings. They have no idea how to behave toward one another. Animal killing is very prominent amongst demoniac people. Such people are considered the enemies of the world because ultimately they will invent or create something which will bring destruction to all. Indirectly, this verse anticipates the invention of nuclear weapons, of which the whole world is today very proud. At any moment, war may take place, and these atomic weapons may create havoc. Such things are created solely for the destruction of the world, and this is indicated here. Due to godlessness, such weapons are invented in human society. They are not meant for the peace and prosperity of the world. So this is a very heavy purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is very important because we are reading, just like Vishwakarma Prabhu was reading sections which were citing from the Bhagavad Gita about what happens if you die when the sun is in the northern Uttarayana and what happens in the south. In other words, the Bhagavad Gita is complete with knowledge, how to live properly, how to die properly. And this is a very important notion. People are very proud of our nation. It's got some nuclear weapons, but this is not benefiting anyone. Ask the people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, did it benefit them? No. This is not meant for actual advancement, either spiritual advancement or material advancement. Therefore, one should conduct his life according to the instruction of the acharyas. This is a very important point. All the great Vaishnava acharyas did not recommend the unnecessary killing of animals and harming other human beings. We saw earlier, there was a little lecture by Srila Prabhupada that Ram Raghava put up, and Prabhupada is quoting the peace formula from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text 29. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam, sarvaloka maheshwaram, that Krishna is the enjoyer of everything, that is the proprietor of everything, suridam sarvabhutanam. He is the friend of every living entity. Nyatva mam shantim richati. Let's get the exact translation. Thank you, Ram Raghava. We'll see the translation by Srila Prabhupada. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. This is very important because nowadays there is so much conflict in many places, and some people say, oh, let's have peace. But this is the peace formula given by God himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is explaining the peace formula. because the human beings in current such societies are under the illusion that somewhere or other this particular land belongs to us and nobody can infringe upon our land. Well, I have news for you. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to God. It belongs to Krishna. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Not just on this planet, but all planets. All planets, all the land belongs to Krishna, to God, and it should be used for God's service. And this misconception of thinking this belongs to us, this belongs to me, this is the root cause of all problems. We saw similar problems in our movement after Srila Prabhupada departed. There was a group of people who had been instructed by Prabhupada to manage the society according to Prabhupada's guidelines, and they concocted some idea that this zone belongs to me, that zone belongs to you. This is my property, this is your property. This is my money, this is your money. As a matter of fact, one of these people, thank you, Vishwakarma, one of these people in England made a statement, it's my temple, it's my zone, it's my money, I can do whatever I want with it. Well, compare that to somebody next door, some materialist person who thinks the same way. This is the result of deviating from the instruction of the spiritual master. One falls under the control of Maya. Maya means ma, not ya, this. False thinking. Everything belongs to Krishna, even the devotees, or pseudo-devotees, or so-called devotees. The minute they start thinking that this belongs to me, this is not Krishna consciousness. This is not Vaishnavism. This is not what Prabhupada taught us. Everything belongs to Krishna, and it should be used for Krishna. Interestingly, there was a very nice verse in the Ishopanishad that Rupa Goswami just sent me. He posted on the chat. He quoted, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Where's that verse? Where's the translation of that verse? Ishopanishad text number 1. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kintiv jagatyam jagat. Maybe we can display. Here we go. Thank you, Ram Raghava. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktinda bunjita magridaha kasyasvid dhanam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. Now, this is the same basic fundamental principle that Lord Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita in the 5th chapter, text number 29. In other places in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that everything comes from me, everything is controlled by me, everything is meant for my satisfaction. This is the meaning of Krishna consciousness. And this is the greatest contribution that Srila Prabhupada has given in the pages of his Bhagavad Gita purports and Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very important because we have reprinted the Srimad Bhagavatam to make it available to everyone, trying to move on this legacy of Srila Prabhupada, trying to present, trying to faithfully live according to his instructions, and trying to present Srila Prabhupada's instructions as he has given in the pages of Bhagavatam. There is nothing to be disturbed about the deviant behavior of a few misguided individuals who fell into Maya. This is very important because some people will say, oh, you people are criticizing. No, we've said this many times. We are not criticizing. We are fact-finding and analyzing events and facts to ascertain the proper conclusion based upon Srila Prabhupada's teachings, based upon Prabhupada's original teachings. In the beginning of this presentation, Mother Shrishta Rupa Devi Mataji, she has put some very nice slides. She's made this presentation explaining this is the original teachings, unchanged, unspoiled, the original teachings that Prabhupada gave. We're not interested in karma kanda like some ritualistic performers or just mere charitable activities. That is very nice. Anybody can do charitable activities. We don't subscribe to the philosophy of Yatamat Jatapat or Daridra Narayana philosophy. No. This is not what Prabhupada taught or what is Guru Maharaj's divine grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. We distribute bhakti. That is what Prabhupada gave. Now, anybody can engage in whatever school activities or hospital activities or, charitable activities. We don't criticize those activities, but we are insisting, we are trying to follow and present Prabhupada's bhakti process. The bhakti process is not a sentimental, emotional presentation. It is based on Shastra and the instruction of the Acharyas. And this is very important because we see many people become bewildered and they ask, well, why did Krishna allow this? Why did Krishna allow that? How come this happened? How come that happened? My question is, do you know how to read? If you know how to read, all the answers are there given in Srimad Bhagavatam. How can someone like Maharaj Parikshit be cursed by a young boy? How can that happen? Because it was the plan of Krishna, so the Srimad Bhagavatam could be delivered. There are so many incidents, even in the Shastras, that are difficult to understand for the neophytes, for the sentimentalists. But if you carefully read and hear the explanation of the Acharya, everything becomes clear. Just yesterday, I sent to a devotee on this group, and I sent him he wanted to know a few selected verses from Bhagavad Gita that Prabhupada used very often for preaching and everything. So I sent him a few verses. And at the end of that presentation, I explained to him that Srila Prabhupada was once asked, of everything you have taught, what is the most important verse? And Prabhupada quoted from the Shvetasvatara Upanishad, Yasya deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru tasyeta kachita hyartaha prakashante mahatmanaha. For those who have firm faith in the Acharya, the bona fide authorized Acharya and the Supreme Lord, all the purports of the Vedic literature is revealed. Prakashante mahatmanaha. Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
See if I can get on here. Revealed by the mercy of Guru and Shastra. And I wanted to say this briefly for everyone, and we're going to move on with some questions. But first, I wanted to make a comment that this program that we have created by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna is an expansion of Prabhupada's Vani incarnation. Yes. And what's the proof, Pure Angelo? Well, come to the class, you'll find out. That's it. You cannot know how it is unless you taste the honey. You can think, oh, it's this and that, but there is a difference. Because people want to know, what's the difference between this group and other groups? And the answer is, we're representing Prabhupada's teachings without change. And not only are we representing it, think about it, Prabhus, Ram Raghava. What is it really happening? We're enjoying it. There is transcendental bliss in this process of Krishna consciousness. And when you hear it and it's bona fide, and we're getting people from all over the world joining us in this mission, step by step. Sure, it doesn't happen overnight, but it's happening. We have momentum. And it's the responsibility of every person in this program to feel that fire of enthusiasm burning and join it and become part of this revolution. There is hope for all of us. We're going to go to some next sections of the program, which is some questions have been asked. People are asking us all these questions, and we're going to have Yashodananda answer them. Ram Raghava, let's start with some of the questions on the chat. Go ahead.
Would you like the first question by Abhiram Thakur, Prabhu?
Just go ahead. You're in charge. Go ahead.
Okay. Abhiram Thakur Das Prabhu asked, in one of his sharings about association with Prabhupada, he was given instructions that we need to sacrifice for Krishna. He's talking about you, Vishwakarma Prabhu. So in our Nova Day positions, as we have only online association, what is considered to sacrifice for us?
Well, we know Prabhupada's instruction that in any situation we may be at any time, in any country, anywhere, we can chant Hare Krishna, for one thing. We can read Bhagavad Gita and read Srimad Bhagavatam, for another thing. We can offer the food stuff that we prepare, offer it to Krishna according to the specific instruction and method taught to us by Prabhupada, for a third thing. But as far as what is sacrifice, well, we know sacrifice means controlling the senses, following the principles. Yesterday, as part of reading the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita and compiling the list of various verses and important verses cited by Srila Prabhupada in his purports, one of the verses is the definition of bhakti by Srila Prabhupada, which we quoted many times, which is a verse from the Padma Purana, Atasri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grayam Indriyai, Sevan Mukhe Hiji Vado Swayameva Puratyadaha. That bhakti means to engage the tongue in glorifying Krishna and tasting foodstuff offered to Krishna. And by this, the senses become purified. So this is how we can sacrifice. It's very simple, not difficult. You can also associate with other devotees. Personally, I live in the Sierra Nevada mountains in a forest, about a house in a forest surrounded by big trees and all kinds of wild animals. And in this particular place, somebody asked me, well, how do you get association? Well, I regularly associate with Vishwakarma Prabhu. I communicate with Prabhu Goswami, Ram Raghava, numerous devotees. I use WhatsApp, I use the phone, I use email. I communicate with devotees, probably more now than ever before with these modern telecommunications. So use that. I don't know where you are right now. If you're in Canada, I'm assuming they still have communication out there in Eastern Canada. Communicate with devotees, make friends with devotees, communicate, and go deep. My advice is, humble advice, try to go deep in your chanting and reading and studying. You read the books and then you go deep into studying the books. This was Prabhupada's desire. There's one video one time, Prabhupada, don't spend so much time eating and sleeping. Read, read, read. That's my humble advice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Okay, next question. Go ahead, Ram Raghava. Next question.
Next question is by Krishna Koli Mataji. She watches on YouTube. She's asking 6 questions and they're all related, so I'll go ahead and read all of them.
Okay, go ahead.
1. Can we chant on Tulsi Mala without taking bath or going to the toilet in the morning? 2. Can we chant on Tulsi without brushing teeth? 3. Can we chant using Tulsi Mala on bed, or we have to chant standing, walking? And last question, 4. Can we chant on Tulsi Mala during our period?
You can chant Hare Krishna anytime. Niyamita Smarane Nakalaha. In the Shikshastakam, there is description that you can chant the name of Krishna anytime. In the Kali Santara Upanishad, in the description between Lord Brahma and Narada, Nara asked him, Lord Brahma, after he received the Maha Mantra, are there any rules? No. He said, no rules, just chant. Now, having said that, in order to maintain Brahminical standard, ideally, the first thing to do in the morning is to get up and take bath and clean up. But you can, Prabhupada did not take his bath till noon or 1 o'clock many times, or late morning. He chanted japa in the morning. Now, you can always have some water and clean up, and you can also use the mantra, Gange cha yamune cheva godavari saraswati narmade sindhu kaveri jalismin sanidim kuru, and sprinkle some water on your head. That takes it as a as a bath with the 7 holy rivers in India before you take your bath. So ideally, the best thing to do is get up early, take your bath, put tilak, and then you move on. But there's no restriction that you can't chant Hare Krishna in the morning if you have not yet taken a bath. I've never heard of that. I mean, some smarter Brahmins may say that, but we don't follow this kind of smarter Brahmin stuff. What do you think, Vishwakarma?
Perfect answer. Go ahead, Ram Raghava. Keep going.
That was it. Those are the only questions I saw.
Okay. Well, we're going to move to our next section of the program, which is a very informative look at what is a bona fide spiritual master and how we should follow him in our discussion with our living guru. So we'll move to that section now. Go ahead, Ram Raghava. Get that up on the screen and let's keep on enjoying the nectar.
The title is Gurus Overwhelmed. 4.1, when the living gurus fall down into grossly sinful activities such as intoxication, illicit sex, doesn't that happen simply as a result of their having taken on so many students or disciples' karma or sinful reactions? Answer. In the Bhagavad Gita 1866, Lord Krishna reassures us, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall protect you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. As the bona fide student progresses towards spiritual realization, sinful reactions affect him less and less. Srila Prabhupada often gave the example that the devotee's karma is reduced just as when a moving fan is suddenly unplugged, it will spin slower and slower. Soon the fan comes to a complete stop. Similarly, for the bona fide student of Krishna consciousness, sinful reactions will soon come to a complete stop. In fact, when the student follows the rules and regulations and chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra according to the instructions of the bona fide Acharya, his sinful reactions are finished. But the unfortunate philosophy of the Living Guru Project is that after one endeavors to become fully Krishna conscious and finally becomes a perfect devotee and a guru, one is quite liable to become overwhelmed by sinful reactions all over again. The fallen souls one tries to save will overload the preacher with their sins. Gradually, the preacher's realization and spiritual standing become completely destroyed, and he may fall down simply because he tried to preach about God. If this sounds like a hopeless treadmill, it is. Perfect downfall. According to the Living Guru Project's logic, we should outright expect that a spiritually perfected person might fall down in a flaming tailspin of materialism. These spiritual tragedies are a natural and not surprising byproduct of the Krishna conscious experience, which goes roughly like this. A, the spiritual aspirant surrenders to Lord Krishna and his bona fide representative, the eternal guru, and so he becomes freed from sinful reactions. B, the aspirant gradually becomes a realized soul and preaches to the fallen souls about his perfect realization. C, after preaching and convincing and initiating others, the perfectly realized guru becomes overwhelmed by the sins of his flock, and he falls from Krishna consciousness into sordid, illicit activities. As we would expect, Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada gives us a much different picture of the process of Krishna conscious realization and preaching. To begin with, as we have seen, Srila Prabhupada draws a sharp distinction between the preaching of a neophyte and that of a genuine eternal preceptor guru. First, the genuine guru preaches with unshakable conviction that he has nothing to do with this material world. Quote, they, perfected gurus, descend on different planets as messiahs by the order of the Lord in different circumstances, under different climatic influences. They have nothing to do with this material world, save, hold on, lost the spot here. They have nothing to do with this material world, save and except to reclaim the fallen souls rotting in material existence, diluted by the material energy. This is Prabhupada's purport to Srimad Bhagavatam 1:19-23. Second, far from being overwhelmed by sin, when the genuine Guru preaches, he can even purify sins accumulated in the Ganges. Quote, devotees and saintly persons advanced in the renounce order can deliver even the Ganges, because saintly devotees always keep the Lord within the core of their hearts. They can perfectly cleanse the holy places of all sinful reactions. From Srimad Bhagavatam 9:9-6. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Very enlightening. Very enlightening. And I wanted to mention before we go to our next section, and I'm always aware of this in my own life, padam padam vipadam natesham. There is danger, everyone, at every step, Piriangelo. Danger at every step. What do I mean? Well, we read today that there could be a nuclear war. True. Now, someone would say, well, I don't think it could happen. Well, there's never been a army or a weapon that was never used to kill others. And death is everywhere, all around us. We think, oh, I'm all right. But the fact of the matter is, there is what is called collective karma. Vikarma, collective karma. And in America specifically, and in other countries around the world, they're killing animals at a huge rate. Innocent creatures of God at a huge rate, billions of them, birds and cows and goats and pigs, etc., because it's a pig society. A bunch of cats and dogs eating flesh of other animals. That's called vikarma, collective karma. And at any moment, Prabhupada said, there, Perangelo, could be a nuclear war, especially in Europe. Think about it. You're over there in that little world there. It's just a small little space compared to out over here. It's a big space. It's a little space, and anything could happen at any moment. And there could be a nuclear bomb. Now you think, oh, it's not possible. That's what you think. Because there's danger at every step. And the other thing is, not only that, my friend Trevor, there could be a natural disaster like what happened in Los Angeles. All those 16,000 homes, all of a sudden they burnt down to the ground. And your whole life becomes destroyed. And you think, not here. Could happen anywhere. And then you could get a disease. One day you get a call. Someone calls you up. Oh, we had a test on you and you've got cancer. I know when I got cancer, I said, no, I don't. I told my doctor for 2 years, I don't have cancer. I was completely bewildered. There is, at any time, a problem could appear in your life. Everyone here, just know it. And the fact of the matter is, you have to be prepared. And the way to prepare is to constantly chant the holy name. Don't worry about all the rules. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting. And follow the principles of Krishna consciousness wherever you live, whether it's Italy or Switzerland or Poland or wherever you are. And you take shelter of the mission of Srila Prabhupada in Bhakti Yoga. Simple program here. Simple for the simple, difficult for the crooked. And that's all I'm going to say. Hari Bol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We'll keep going. We've got another section, Ram Raghava. What's the next section? Another lecture by Srila Prabhupada to prepare for the inevitable. Hari Bol.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam. If you are thinking that in this material existence I shall be saved, assisted by my society, friendship, love, country, and politics, and sociology. No, sir, it is not possible. It's not possible. You have to take care of yourself. Your so-called society, friendship, love, country, nation, and this will never you will be able to help you, because you are under the clutches of Maya. Devi jesa gunamayi mama maya duruttaya prakite kritamaalani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankar vimuratma karta ham miti mannate. You are under the clutches of Maya. You have no independence. Neither anyone has got any independence to save you. That's not possible. The same example as I gave some time, that you learn how to drive aeroplane. So you go high in the sky, but if you are in danger, no other aeroplane can help you. You are finished. Therefore, you must be a very careful pilot to take care of yourself. Similarly, in this material world, everyone individually has to take care of himself, how he can be saved from the clutches of Maya. That is Krishna consciousness movement. A teacher can give you hints, the Acharya can give you hints that you can be saved in this way. But the execution of the duties, that is in your hand. If you perform the spiritual duties rightly, then you are saved. Otherwise, even Acharya gives you instruction. If you don't follow, so how he can save you? He can save you by instruction, by his mercy, as much as possible, but you have to take it in your hand seriously. So, this problem, Arjuna is facing now this problem, that is general problem, dehapatta kalatradishu. Dehapatta, deha means this body. Apatta means children, kalatra means wife. Dehapatta kalatradi-shu. Atma-sanneshu asassu api. We are thinking that we shall be protected by these soldiers. I have got my sons, grandsons, my grandfather, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, my so many society friends. Everyone is thinking that. My nation, my community, my philosophy, my politics, no. Nothing can save. Dehapatra kalatradisu asassu api. They are all temporary. They come and go. Asassu api pramatya tasya nidhanam pasyannapi na pasyati. One who is too much attached to this society, friendship and love, he is pramatta. Pramatta means crazy, madman. Pasyannapi na tasya nidhanam. He does not see, although he is seeing that my father has died. When I was a child, my father was giving me protection. Now my father has gone away. Who is giving me protection? Is my father alive to give me protection? Who is giving me protection? My mother was giving me protection. Now who is giving me protection? I was in family. My sons, my daughters, my wife. I have left them. Now who is giving me protection? Actually, Krishna gives you protection always. not your society friends you have lost. They will be finished.
Very profound. Prabhupada speaking exactly the truth to us in a few short minutes. There's nothing more to say. You can deny it, but that's your illusion. That's your mental speculation. That's your mental concoction that you think this world is real. It isn't. And just before we move to our next section, what is the most important thing? What's the most valuable thing you possess? Your time. We have to have a sense of urgency, especially when you get older. You know you have only a short period of time to live. So we have to use our time very carefully, and the process is given here constantly, chant constantly, serve with enthusiasm. Please, that's one of the requirements of devotional service. Be enthusiastic to take this service up and get the maximum benefit from your life. Do not be a miser, a Scrooge, and think, oh, it's not really true. I'm going to ignore this and I'll carry on with my own mental concoction. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the members of the PDA HKS Hare Krishna Society. Let's keep going. We're an army. We're starting to march. Let's get bigger and better and stronger and more effective in our service. We're going to go to our next section. Ram Raghava, there's so much on my mind. Spiritual nectar here. Go ahead. Is it the
Recitation of the 10 offenses followed by
one of my
japa.
favorite parts of the program. Let me hear that again. Go ahead.
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Hold on for 1 second. Please ask all the devotees to fill in the form, the Seva form that's been shared. It's on the chat. This is from Shrestha. Please make a special mention for Bhakti Sushama Mataji, who has now stepped up to help us with tech support. Thank you, Mataji, and thank all of you for being a part of this weekly sadhana program. We're going to move to the next section, Rupa Ram Raghava, which is the japa class, correct? Okay, so everyone chant japa, and then we've got a bunch of nectar to flow on after. So stay absorbed while you can in this transcendental Vani incarnation association of Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Rama
Hare Ram, Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama, Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Rama, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Ram,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Rama, Rama,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Krishna,
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 Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chant and be happy.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaham. I offer my respectful obeisances. We all offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the. Please put the display back on, please. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and we're full of compassion for the fallen souls. Thanks, everybody, for participating in this reading and discussion. Vishwakarma Prabhu in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Krishna Kata Prabhu in San Diego. Shrestha Rupa Mataji in South India. Michael Dillon in Yuba City, California. Bhakta Pierangelo in Switzerland. Vijay Pandit Prabhu in Italy. Radharani Mataji in Kansas. Viprahita Prabhu and his good wife Rashikeshwari, the parents of Ram Raghava, thanks for participating. Bhakta Roy in Mississippi. Bhakta Vladimir in Poland. Nandi Mukhi, Abhiram Thakur in Canada. Anshuman Mishra in Orissa, India. Virabhadra Goswami Prabhu in South India. Bhaktin Sushma, and Bhakta Vaibhav, Bhakta Gopal, Joe Felici, Kantadas, everybody who participated. Thank you for participating. And please join us again on Wednesday evening at 5:00 p.m., corresponding to 8 p.m. Eastern Coast in the USA for a reading on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I wanted to remind everyone that we have all of our programs on the YouTube channel that we've launched. So you can go back and see the different programs over the years, how we've evolved it, and we're changing it and trying to improve it always for everyone's benefit. So thank you again, everyone, for your participation on a weekly basis. People that come and go, that's like people getting on and off the bus. Everybody gets on the bus, they get off the bus. We stay on the bus. We're on a rocket ship back to home, back to Godhead. So join us and you won't be disappointed. We're going to move ahead with some sections, some more nectar. We're going to have the closing credits. Please read the closing credits because it'll give you an idea of all the people that are involved and how you can join and be a part of it. All glories to the Sankirtan mission. I'm listening. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Play that bass, chant in peace, everyone. Don't be shy, chant along, chant along. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Bo, Hare Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Hare Bo, Hare Hare Bo, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,